Hello, my hoopy fruits. I have decided to finally do the anonymous questions video that I've been talking about for quite a while. Anyway, I have my trusty tablet here, which did not charge as well as it should have, unfortunately, so the battery might die, so we'll see what we can work with. Do you drink water? You should. How do I fix my caps? Actually, I did not. Hold on a second. Yes, I actually did drink my water. Thank you so much for your concern about my hydration. How do you fix your caps? I would recommend pressing caps lock. And if that doesn't work, there might be something damaging, keeping it on your keyboard. So I would recommend buying some duster and kind of shaking the keyboard. Also, there are certain keyboards that can be washed in a dishwasher. So I hope that's helpful for you. Thank you for your question. No, that's... Oh, wait. Look. Yeah. Haven't seen that one in years. But I'm gonna answer it anyway, because I'm desperate for content. No, not really. I just thought that was funny for some reason. But anyway, my age is 38 years old. This Thursday, August 2nd, I will be 39. Yes, that's what comes after 38. Good. We're on the same page here. And I was thinking of uploading this on my birthday too, just for fun. But I don't know. But anyway, my sex is I am a female human warm baby. And my location is I live in Oregon. Worm disco. Okay, first of all, that is not a question. Second of all, I know you're from Tumblr. Okay. For anyone who doesn't know about the Worm Disco thing, Worm Disco is some band from Ontario, and there is a Tumblr called Recent Google Searches. So that's how I know that this came from Tumblr. Somebody stuck in my Tumblr. No, that's cool. But anyway, so this Tumblr blog, Recent Google Searches, like, for some reason, there's almost always every week there's a mention of somebody searching for Worm Disco, and that's how I know what they are. I looked it up, and then I realized what it probably was like a PR stunt, like, you know, searching terms that don't really seem to coalesce and get people curious about it. That way it gets more hit to their sites. So, you know, that's kind of annoying that I fell for it, but it's really clever. You go, Worm Disco. I have no clue how to make the connection between the lions and the family that I have betrayed. I feel bad and want nothing. The old man and the credit card company will end it all. That's ominous, my friend. Well, if you're feeling bad about betraying your family, which is what I think that this is saying, I could be completely misunderstanding, but the first thing I would do, seriously, is admit that you did wrong. I mean, acknowledge what you did and take steps to actually make it better. I mean, don't just call up your family and be like, hey, you know, all the betrayal stuff is over, I'm fine now. Actively do things to show that you have changed and that you are becoming a better person. And, you know, I'll be honest, if your family doesn't want anything to do with you after you betrayed them, then that's their prerogative. Now, depending on what you did to betray them, because honestly, I know that there are families who would consider their kid coming out gay as a betrayal, which is just shitty. It's shitty and cruel and horrible. But the thing is that if that's the case, make your own family. Seriously, people like to say blood is thicker than water, but what they're forgetting is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb is the whole thing, and that basically means that any meaningful friendship can be way more impactful than your blood family, and that's fine. I mean, a lot of people have really bad family relationships, so they go and make their own family. So my advice, in short, is to actually take the steps to become a better person. I mean, if your family deserves it, seriously, if they kicked you out because you're gay, and that just popped in my head while I was talking, so I have no idea if that's going on with you. Like, if it's just like a betrayal in your family's head, or you actually betrayed your family. Like, did you burn their house down? Because that's a lot to come back from. You know, I mean, I gotta say that if my kid burned my house down, I might not be so quick to forgive them. And for the fifth question, is your about a Diablo reference? Oh! Yes, my about on YouTube. The last part, or say, stay a while and listen, that is a line from the character Deckard Cain from the Diablo series. Well spotted. I first started playing Diablo 2 years ago, and so when Diablo 3 came out, we got it on PC because, like, Diablo is, like, my life. It's one of my favorite games ever. And, so then it came out on the Xbox. And we're like, yeah. And it was great because Damon and I could play together, very romantic co-op, and I had let our daughter play on the PC while we played the Diablo. Then Reaper of Souls came out, and so we bought the expansion pack, which came with the whole game for some reason. And yeah, that's actually, that game is one of the reasons why I don't want to get an Xbox One, because of the fact that there is not a backwards compatible version, which means that all the gameplay I had, I would have to start over. That's kind of painful. I have a barbarian named Moo, because in Diablo 3 there is no cow level, and he has this really awesome armor, which I've been working for years, and I don't want to give him up. So, yeah. My roommate's dog won't stop shitting. That's unfortunate, but, you know, that's what dogs do. They need to defecate. Some context would be helpful, like, is this dog pooping in your room, in the kitchen, in a place that it should not be? Because if so, you really need to have a talk to your roommate about cleaning up after the dog. I mean, unless you have an agreement where you guys clean up after the dog. But if your roommate's not cleaning up after the pet, then that needs to be addressed, because I could see that building up a lot of resentment. I saw you talked about meeting Sean Gunn. What do you think about James's firing? Oh boy. So, I've been a Trauma fan since I was a kid. Yeah, I was in high school when I saw Charming and Juliet. James Gunn had been kind of on the edgy side, and he says shitty things just to get attention. I mean, granted, at the time when these tweets came about, he was like 41, and that's a little old to be that way, but, you know, you do have a right to make jokes. And also, people are trying to compare this to the Roseanne situation, which is a little upsetting, because he apologized for them in 2012. He was like, hey, I'm not that person. And in the Q&A, and the last Q&A video, I actually talked about becoming a better person and showing, and he had. So basically what happened is that Disney hired him on. They knew his resume. They knew what kind of movies he made. They knew what person he was. And they were like, oh, okay, then suddenly some creepy pervert digs this stuff up. And I'm sorry, the guy who did that, the Chernabog, I don't know what his name is, but skeletons in his closet. Like, seriously, I've seen those tweets, and he has no room to talk about James Gunn. But anyway, I think one thing, Disney needs to accept culpability because they knew who they hired. And I think that when you are in the public eye and you make comments that you know may be taken the wrong way, it might be best just to delete them. Seriously. Because, I mean, like, I have friends who have made some jokes which would seem horrible to somebody who didn't know them, but are really funny because contextually I know this person, and I know that they would never actually do that. But a stranger, they don't know. I mean, you know, so while I think that Disney was well within their rights to fire James Gunn, I think it was a terrible decision. So, yeah.